Hey there, I'm John. I'm a solar professional. I've been doing solar for the last 15 years, helping folks go solar. Now, in many of my conversations with folks who have gone solar, some my customers, some not mine, was about what they wish they knew before they went solar. And this video is going to talk about you know 8 critical things which almost all of them they come up with one way or the other. They wish they had done or known this before going solar. Now, the 8 things which folks keep mentioning start with first 3 steps of planning. Before starting anything, before calling any solar companies, they wish they had done a little bit of planning. And that first set of planning, the 3 steps are: number one, making sure your home is good for solar. So number two is actually getting to know how much energy you're using in your home in kilowatt hours. Number three is to know the solar products available. There are 3 solar products available. You should know about them very well before you start on this process. After doing your homework, these first 3 steps, you get into researching what kind of solar companies you want to get quotes from. That's step number 4. Step number 5 is inviting quotes. And it is not a trivial step. You do not want 1,000 companies calling you morning and night trying to sell solar to you. So how you actually ask for quotes, number 5, is important. Number 6 is actually evaluating what kind of equipment you want in your solar system. Number 7 is selecting the right size of solar system. You've got the quotes. Some have told you 25, some have told you 26, some have told you 28 panels. Evaluating and choosing the right number of panels is number 7. Number 8 is finally making a choice based on the prices you have. And of course, you've already pre-selected your company. So hopefully the quotes you're looking at this time and comparing prices over, whoever gives you the best deal should be the one you should go for. Folks, it helps my channel if you like and subscribe. Please do press that button. And let's get started. Step number 1 is actually knowing if your home is good for solar. Now, the easiest way to do this is to go to Project Google Sunroof, type in your address, and let that do the magic. In case Google Sunroof doesn't work for you, then make sure you have large big roofs which get a lot of sun. When I say a lot of sun, I mean there are no trees, not even remotely near them. Even if you have a little bit of shade, maybe 10% or 15% of the roof gets a little bit of shade, that roof isn't likely going to be good for solar. Solar is very sensitive to shade. Now, this is a little bit technical. If some of you have difficulty doing this, evaluating whether your home is good for solar or not, you could actually email me. I can do a free solar evaluation of your roof. Email checkmyroof at mysolarhome.us and I'll do a free solar evaluation of your roof. So you've got a good roof. Number 2, find out how much energy you're actually using in your home. Easiest way to do this is call your electric utility company and ask them for your last 12 months of usage. They'll most likely email you your usage in kilowatt hours. This would be in the thousands, maybe 5,000 kilowatt hours to 25, 30, 40, 45,000 kilowatt hours in the year. This is a very important figure for you to find out. For folks who are new into their homes and who have only a month or 2 of usage, you sit tight. It's okay. The solar companies are going to make a good guess how much energy you're going to be using in the year. You'll have to rely on their expertise. Number 3 is understanding your solar options. Now, there are 3 types of solar products. There's the solar lease or the PPA. Then there's a solar purchase with cash. And the third is a solar purchase with a loan. Now, it's important you know all 3 of them very well. If you get into the solar market and you don't know your product, you're going to end up like Melissa. Melissa was sold a PPA by one of the larger PPA companies in the US about 6 years back. She did not know better that there were other options, or that the PPA option that she took was the worst PPA option she could have probably opted for. She went for something with an escalator. Today, 6 years after Melissa has solar, she has electric bills from the solar company which are more than what she pays for her electric company. If she had done a little bit of homework beforehand, finding out if her roof gets enough sun, how much energy she was using, and which solar product would make sense for her, if at all, she won't be in this pickle today. So beware, do not even touch those with a barge pole. If you go for a lease, and there are a lot of videos on the internet saying that you shouldn't go for the lease at all, that is not correct. If you do your research well, you can get a very good solar lease. The way to do this is to make sure that you get a fixed lease where the monthly payment stays the same throughout the 25 years of the lease. And number two, most importantly, look at your last 12 months of electric bills. Add them all up. Supposing you spend, let's say, $1,500 on electricity in the last year. If the lease company gives you a fixed lease which gives you a solar electric bill which is less than $1,500, maybe it's $1,200 a year, and they give you an assurance, and you do your math and homework too, that would cover your complete usage, then this is a really good product to take, because your savings will start from year one and they will keep increasing over time, because electric prices keep going up year after year. Your lease price will stay constant at that $1,200. So over time, the solar lease with a fixed monthly payment saves you almost as much money if you buy the system. So that's the lease or the PPA. Make sure only do the fixed lease or the fixed PPA. The other products that you have are the solar purchase, which is you buy the solar system by paying cash. This is of course the best option going around, because you can get all the incentives associated with solar, like the tax credit, the RECs, state tax credits, etc. I have other videos on my channel going more into detail into these various options. And the third option is the solar, buying a solar with a loan. Be very careful when you take a loan. Try and get the loan yourself if you can. That way you'll have the lowest interest rates. But if you do take a loan from a solar company, understand there are two types of solar loans. One is a high interest loan, which actually are the better loans, because those loans don't have any points. The price of your solar system, whether you buy cash or whether you buy loan, it's not significantly different. It'll be slightly higher if you take a loan, maybe $1,000, $2,000 more for the loan. But if the interest rate is high, that'll be the difference between the prices of your system. But many solar companies will lead with a teaser rate of 3.99 or 4.99%. These loans usually have a large chunk of points or dealer fees. The price of your system is artificially increased. I mean, the fees are in the region of 35 to 40%. Or for folks who just don't want the hassle of maintaining their own system, the lease is a good option. But again, fixed lease, remember. So that's number three. Number four, you got to decide on what kind of solar company you want to work with. Now, there are two options basically. One is a local solar company, and if you like local solar companies, they're usually cheaper in prices. The risk with local solar companies are, many of them, they tend to go out of business in 7 or 8 years, and then you're stuck. So that's a risk. If you're able to live with that, go with a local solar company. Number two is nationwide large solar companies. The problem with the bigger ones are they are more reliable and they probably will last longer. Not that it's certain, but they are very much more expensive. Now the good news is that you can beat them down to local prices. If you don't believe me, I do it day in and day out. I only work with nationwide solar companies. Anybody who goes solar through me, I've partnered with large nationwide companies, but I ensure that I give you prices that match local solar companies. So you get low prices, the best of equipment, and the best of warranty. Write to me, John at MySolarHome.us, or call me 609-908-3700. So that's choosing the company. Once you've selected, okay, I'm going to look at maybe 2 local companies and 2 nationwide companies. I want 4 quotes. Go for it. Now, step 5 is to actually go and ask for the quotes. Make sure you go to the websites of these companies and make sure that you see installations there, that you see people there. Most of the solar installation related websites they're just looking to sell leads. They get your information and they sell it to 25 different companies. You'll be killed with quotes. You don't want that to happen. For example, if you come to me, I only send you 1 quote from one of my selected partners, And I do not even give your information out to them unless you decide that you want to go with me. So no chance of you getting bombarded with quotes. So that's number 5, asking for the quote. Number 6 is actually selecting your equipment. Now there are a lot of videos about selecting the best solar panels, inverters, etc. In this one, I'll just make it short for you. If you go for a top 5 solar panel like a REC panel or a Q-cell panel or Silfab or say a SunPower, there are a couple more, and you either go with Enphase IQ8 series microinverters or SolarEdge optimizers, you're good. Stay away from string inverters. That means stay away from Tesla Solar. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but my advice is stay away from Tesla Solar. Any other company which gives you these equipment are great. In terms of warranty, make sure everybody is giving you at least a 25-year warranty. There are some companies which give you 30 years. For example, if you come to me, I'll give you a 30-year warranty. Now that you've got the quotes, you got to make sure you buy the right size of system, the right number of panels. Now, the way to do this is to, number 1, look at all your quotes together. And each quote has got 2 important numbers in them. One is what is known as the system size, and this usually is written as 8.1 kW, 9 kW, 7.8 kW, but basically a small number followed by kW. The other number that every proposal will have is the energy production of the solar system. This is in kilowatt hours. This should either be like 6,500 kilowatt hours or 14,400 kilowatt hours, 20,100 kilowatt hours. Whatever it is usually a large number followed by kWh. So these are 2 different numbers. The first one is the system size. This refers to the number of solar panels they're proposing to put on your roof. So if they are planning to give you 25 panels, and if each of those panels, for example, is 400 watts each, then the system size that they're proposing for you is 25 into 400, which is 10,000 watts. And they divide that by 1,000 to come to 10 kW. So that's the small number, the system size, small number, 10 kW. So all your quotes look for that number. So some will be, let's say 8.1, another might be 8.9, another might be 9.2, and somebody might have given you a bigger one at 10.4 or something. So that's the size in kW. That's the number you should compare. Do not compare the kilowatt hour or the production number. The reason you don't compare the kilowatt hour production number is because that number is kind of subjective. Some companies give you a more optimistic production figure in kilowatt hours, others are more pessimistic. I personally like pessimistic, or I call them realistic numbers. So same size system, very different productions. This even happens when you get quotes from companies for your home. That there may be 2 different companies which give you a quote for a 10 kW system, but one of them will say that your system will produce 12,500 kilowatt hours. The other company might say it will make only 11,500 kilowatt hours. They're both making estimates. One of the guys is making a more pessimistic estimate. Always go with the lower number. Now, once you've got all your quotes, look at the system size from all of them. Make sure when you're comparing, you should be doing apples to apples. You should be looking at the same system size. So if after looking at the quotes, you come to the conclusion, hey, looks like I've got 7 or 8 quotes which are in the 8 and 9 kW range, and almost all of them are producing about what I need in terms of fulfilling 100% of my usage, then you decide on a figure, okay, I want a system size of around about 9 kW. Tell all the companies, send me revised quotes for a 9 kW or around about a 9 kW system, and then compare the quotes at that time. So you've got your system size now. So your final step, which is your 8th step, is now that you've decided, okay, you've got 5 quotes or 4 quotes from 4 different companies, more or less the same system size. Now you compare prices. If it's cash, you compare the cash price. If it's a loan price, compare the loan price for the system, the monthly payments for the loan, making sure the loans are more or less similar. Or if you're doing the lease, it's easy. What's the monthly payment? Whoever's giving you the lowest monthly payment, go with that company. This is assuming you've done your research earlier about which companies are the best. And once you've got 4 or 5 very good companies in front of you, go for it. I hope you like this video. Do like and subscribe. And again, if you're looking for a solar quote, don't forget to write to me. You see my details below there. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.